Hey everybody, it's Charlie and Nathan from Daily Motor. Today we've got the live drive of the 2021 Honda Accord 2.0T Turbo Sport. This is the top dog Accord. It's pretty much either this or the Limit, or was Touring. Touring is the other top trim, so it's whether you want kind of a little more luxury or a little more sportiness and you want to pay top dollar for a Honda Accord. So we're going to spend the next hour or so, go drive around with the car, look at it, going to talk about what makes the Accord so good here in 2021. We've got Ellis behind the camera. We're going to be taking a look at chats after a few minutes here and saying hi to you all. I know a few of you are already in the chats. Welcome aboard. If you're watching this after the fact and you want to join in live next time, hit that subscribe button, sign up for notifications. We're typically live driving 4 p.m. Eastern Time, Tuesdays and Fridays. So, the very first thing we noticed with this Accord is the color. I already forgot the name of it, but I haven't found anyone who doesn't like the name look of this color. What do you think, Nathan?
I don't know.
Really?
Oh? You know, my favorite color for the Accord is white. That pearl sparkly
That does look
white.
good. Mm-hmm.
I actually saw one today in this white. It was pulled over, but it looked very good.
Huh.
This though, it's sparkly. It looks good. It's just, I'd rather have the white.
Huh.
Or the red.
The red does look good. I feel like you see so many of the red ones. This is a new color.
This is unique.
Yeah. I think it kind of shines a little bit. It makes me think of Audi's Nardo Gray. I think it's kind of like a similar look to that. We had a very similar color on that Chevy Bolt, and I actually didn't care for it much on that Bolt, but I kind of like it better on the Accord. If you come over to this side, it's in the sun more. You can kind of see a better angle.
Sonic Gray.
Sonic Gray?
Yeah, that's what Mike 1 is saying.
Gotcha.
Color is. I think it's a beautiful color.
I think they use the same color on the, maybe it's slightly different on the Civic Type R.
The other thing I know is the amount of swirl marks in the paint already.
Well, that could be, I mean, you think about how often this thing probably goes through automatic car wash.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah. Nice wheels too on the Sport model. Kind of a nice mixture of black and kind of a brushed alloy. But it's a good look for the car. It does kind of contribute to a little less ride quality. Poorer ride quality with these large wheels, but I think this one does ride better than the hybrid we had, so that helps.
I don't think there's a thing I don't like about the looks of this car.
Which is good, because when the Accord first came out, I thought it was kind of ugly, but it's sort of grown on me. It's just a very big grille. It's kind of like a big cheese, look at me kind of look.
I think it's cute.
You do?
Yeah.
Well, compared to BMW.
Yeah, that's true.
And Audi.
And then, yeah, the new 4 Series that looks
Lexus.
awful. Yeah. So let us know what you guys think of the Accord. Do you think it's still relevant? I mean, you've got new things like the K5, the Hyundai Sonata, Hyundai. I've been trying to say Hyundai now because that's how it's technically pronounced. We had the Elantra last week.
How about Hyundai? I'm going to say Hyundai and make a third part.
Well, the Hyundai is, I think, actually correct, but it's a Hyundai.
Yeah, I think I would go with the green silver. I like Kias and Hyundais a lot. Like, they have a special place in my heart ever since the Stinger came out.
Yeah, Stinger has been good. So this is the 2.0 Sport model. So we're repping the 252 horsepower turbocharged inline 4. And even though this thing makes less power than the Camry and the Sonata, it doesn't feel like less power because you can still spin the tires super easily, and it's definitely strong and torquey with this 10-speed automatic. Pretty standard fare rear in here, strong. You got a little bit of a hook. Do you have a spare? Well, we have a jack, so there must be a spare under there. Yep, compact spare. Cool. We got comments going on?
Yeah, people saying hello. Mohammed says hello. Andrew the Panda says hello.
Hello, hello.
Parsa Asteki is back. He
Cool.
says he's happy to see us again.
Good.
And Yas likes the color.
Good, yeah, it's hard not to. I think it's, at least, this is how I felt about the Bolt. Even though I didn't care for this color on the Bolt, I thought, I'm glad it exists, you know what I mean? Like, I'm glad for fun colors kind of unique like this. So.
Yeah.
The other thing I noticed is the attention to detail of the exterior style. Like, they didn't have to put this wing on here, they didn't have to make it black. Then you just got all these creases and lines, and then you come down here and you got the actual metal. They're not real, obviously, but they look good. It's a very German thing to do, to kind of over-style everything.
Everything's really solid too. I mean, big solid thunks. This doesn't feel cheap like it does in some other cars. noticed the other day these wind seals. It's kind of like double harsh windshield, and then when you close the door, you can see it kind of coming right through to block out any sort of wind. It's a very quiet car on the highway.
That's
as we'll
nice.
see in a little bit.
Cool.
Yeah. Liz, maybe if you want to pop in the front seat, Nathan and I'll sit in the back and you can get the camera on.
Okay. That's a good idea.
So one of the advantages of a family sedan is being able to comfortably take a family. You can see with the seats back in comfortable front positions, we're 5'10", tons of room, flip down armrest, got a nice squish to it. Good amount of headroom too.
Yeah. Look at the legroom though, and this is a normal adult male seating position, and I can slide all the way down and the seat compresses a bit. I'm comfy.
Yeah. Yep. On top of that, we've got vents, which are important. We've got 2 USB-A ports for charging, seat back pockets.
Everything, attention to detail. They could have just made this a hard piece of plastic. Look how much my elbow sinks into there.
Yeah, it's pretty darn squishy. That's nice.
And like over here, this is squishy.
Mm-hmm. It's lacking a bit in storage back here. I mean, the door pockets are average size, but I think if we were taking a road trip or something, we might start to run out of place to put things. It'd be nice to see some sort of storage unit in here,
Yeah.
but not the end of the world. Also, no center pass-through. That might be a big deal for some, since these are just 60/40 split-fold rear seats.
Got your USBs right there.
Yep.
No USB Type-C, but whatever.
Yep. And overall, an attractive cabin. Looking around here, you can see lots of blacks.
Mm-hmm.
Not really any piano black though, which is interesting. Yeah. How's the comfort up there, Ellis?
Oh, it's good.
Yeah?
Yeah. Yeah. There's obviously a ton of feet space in here, and I would say these are slightly squishy. I don't know what it's like back there, but
I'll come up and get the camera on you from the door.
I do kind of like how
Oh, it's a manual adjust seat back.
manual
That's
adjust
surprising.
seat, and I think the bar is in the front
Oh,
here.
it's totally a manual. That's
Yeah.
a little bit of a disappointment when you're talking.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe the touring model would have power.
I can see that being really frustrating. I
Yeah.
would like to be able to raise my seat high too, which
Yeah,
you
you're
should
right.
be able
There's-
to do with the driver's seat, but
Right.
I don't like to sit so low
Okay.
because then my feet and my legs are just very flat.
Okay.
Other than that, it's there's a lot of space here, and it's pretty
Okay.
comfortable.
Huh.
I do like how the seats, the cloth that's on these seats, it's like a nice woven kind of satiny, silky material, and it's very soft.
Alyssa likes it. Nathan and I don't like the feeling that it kind of gives my fingers. It's almost like if you've ever maybe run your hand on like a headliner that doesn't feel good or something.
You can feel the pinstripes, the way that they've woven it. Some of the actual pinstripes stick out more, and you can feel that in your fingers.
Yeah, I know.
I like that.
I see what Alyssa means about the softness, but it's also kind of a weird feeling. Yeah. All right, so, excuse me. Let's get behind the wheel, do a little bit of driving, talk about why you might pick the Sport, especially the 2.0 T Sport, over some of the other Accords. Yes?
Now, how low do you think this car sits? Is it difficult to get into?
Well, I mean, as a young person, it's kind of easy to get in and out of things, but there are a lot of people that prefer the entry and the egress position, I should say, of a larger vehicle, something like a CR-V. You just got to kind of turn and sit down into it. I mean, do either of you have any other further opinion on that? It's standard for a sedan. I mean,
Yeah, I would say it's
just the getting in and out of it.
I would say it's quite low.
Yeah, but like what
yeah.
sedans aren't, I guess, you know?
All right, getting
They
out.
are quite low.
Let's see.
It's very easy to get in and out of, you know.
Yeah, I mean,
Get the Top Gear reference?
no. Is that like a Top Gear episode?
Yeah, it's
Oh.
the Shackleton's seating chair. You know when they built the Fiat Multipla?
It's been a while since I've seen that one.
I'm sure some people will get it.
Yeah,
Hopefully.
yeah, it's a sedan.
Yeah, yeah. So it's low.
What else is going on?
We have the Pittsburgh Man.
Hey, Pittsburgh Man. I wonder, he probably likes Hondas. It's hard
Says
not to.
hello. We've got Moran in the chat.
Good. Hey, Moran.
Abraham Roy says, excited to see a live drive and one of my favorite cars on sale right now.
Awesome. Well, for good reason. This is one of the best cars. In fact, Motor Trend actually just did a comparison between This, the Camry, the K5, the Sonata, the Altima, and the Mazda 6. Every full family sedan that's on market right now, and this one. Yeah, unsurprisingly so.
Imagine if Ford was still in the game.
Yeah, the Fusion could actually compete.
Right.
Yeah.
Shame. And no Chevy Malibu either, obviously.
Yeah. Mike 1 says, the fact that you can get more backseat room in the Accord than in the new TLX really sells this car for me.
Interesting. Yeah, no, the TLX is a little bit tighter, but I think that they probably wanted it to be a little bit sportier. And you got the all-wheel drive going back there and stuff, so that might hinder a little bit of the room too.
The only American midsize sedan that's like new, current, and still on sale is the Model 3.
And the Charger.
The Charger's full size.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, yeah.
Because
that's true.
You had the Chrysler 200, the Malibu, the Fusion.
Yeah. This is definitely roomier inside than a Model 3, but yeah, I know what you mean. It's practically the same class. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Oh, you're right.
How much does this run for?
This one we're in, I kind of forgot, I think it's about 35.
I think 35, you said 35, yeah.
Yeah.
I asked him
maybe
last
36.
night.
Yeah. Yep. So this is top tier in terms of Accord pricing.
Yeah. Yeah, says I would totally take this Accord with a manual.
Yeah, unfortunately, the manual Accord is no longer offered here in the States. So
that's crazy.
Yeah, well, I mean, the take rates were pretty darn low, so I'm not too surprised. But you can, if you can find one used, then you could get one. But other than that, you are getting the 10-speed.
I remember when you asked if you wondered what Pittsburgh Man's preference on Hondas. He says, I actually hate Hondas.
Really?
Every bad driver I've ever encountered drove a Honda Civic or Accord or a Toyota Corolla or a Camry.
Wow.
Makes sense because they're the most popular cars on sale.
That is true, but
just get kind of all the idiots compiled.
I'm kind of surprised because like I feel like Honda's a pretty unhateable brand. They don't really do anything offensive enough to like warrant disdain. Even in Pittsburgh Man's case, he's concerned about the other drivers.
Let me be impartial. Let me think about it. No, there's nothing bad they make.
Well, the only one that's... No, just kidding. That's Toyota. I was thinking of the CHR.
That's not even like really bad though.
The CHR is not great from Toyota.
The Pittsburgh Man also says the taillights look like staplers.
Is that a bad thing though?
I need to get another look at the taillights when we get out again.
Yeah, I see what he means, but
cool.
There's the nice Veloster N. Alright, let's do a little air con.
It is warm outside.
It is toasty. What is it? 70 degrees here in Michigan.
71 and sunny. And yesterday it was, what, 40 and cold?
It was unpleasant yesterday morning, yes. yeah, it was below freezing actually yesterday morning.
Wow.
Well, I know in Denver it was in the 70s yesterday and now it's snowing today. So.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it could be worse.
Right, exactly. So I'm gonna drive for a little bit and then we'll get Nathan and Alyssa behind the wheel as well and kind of get their thoughts. Nathan's driven a 2-liter Accord before, but it's been probably what, year and a half or so, 2 years?
I hardly remember it.
Yeah.
I'm getting to the point where I've driven so many cars, it's like they all just kind of, if it's something like an Accord especially, I have to really think about it.
Yeah, yep. Yeah, the Accord is just like a good, solid bowl of vanilla ice cream. It's like, it's just good, you know? You sometimes forget what it's like to just kind of, just get a good bowl of vanilla. You never go into an ice cream store and you're like, I'm gonna get vanilla. But then if it's put upon you, you're like, oh yeah.
If you have to rent vanilla, you'd be perfectly happy with it.
Right. Yeah. Whereas getting an Altima would be like, kind of like a Walmart brand, like cookies and cream. You know, it might sound good, but then after you have it like more than 4 or 5 bites, you're like, this is not very good ice cream. That's the Altima. And this thing makes its power so much better than the Altima. Like, yeah, that new variable compression engine is fast, but it's not a pleasant fast because you're constantly getting jerked back and forth by that CVT and the variable compression turbo. It's an unpleasant experience. Is this?
A CVT is always a bad idea in my opinion.
There are certain cars where CVT is okay, like the Elantra that we drove has technically a CVT, but it's 140 horse, so who cares?
But let me ask you, like, for longevity, would you rather have a 6-speed auto or a CVT?
On a car like the Elantra, I think it'd be no different. honestly don't, because it's a chain driven.
Oh, chain driven.
Yeah.
Oh, that's different.
Right, yeah. And CVTs I really think are a lot better.
I'm talking about like Nissans.
Yeah.
Like in the
older.
older
yeah,
Altima.
That's not.
That just blew all the time.
And like technically the base Accord comes with a CVT, but it's a really good CVT, and I'm sure Honda reliability would be totally fine. Yeah. Comments?
Yes. Do you think you can get a close up on the tachometer?
Yeah, I can definitely do that. Let me shift on over. You can kind of show my fingers right now. So right here is this little scrolly knob. I'm gonna go back, and then up one, and then click, and then now got to tach. So it is technically digital, but it looks analog. So,
yeah.
You know, if it looks the same, is that okay? If anything, I think the speedometer is a little redundant because you've got the digital speedo in the center and then an analog speedo on the side. So it's kind of like, why do you need to have both? But
it looks very much like Volkswagen's system in the center there.
Yeah.
But they do have the, they don't have a digital anything except that little center thing in the middle.
Yeah.
But it's kind of neat because when the car is off, you only see the needle and that inner circle. Everything else is black.
Yep.
And I kind of like that because it looks really futuristic. Yeah.
Looks classy, yeah.
Yeah.
How's the ride back there, Nathan?
I haven't noticed it, so it must be good.
Right.
Or at least good enough. Yeah.
That's the sign of a decent ride, is you're like, oh. Sorry, there's probably more comments.
No, that's fine. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have to test it on the famous big bump.
Yep.
Oh yeah, coming up here. The big loser wants us to show the speed and power.
Okay, we'll probably do some pulls here in a little bit. Probably a few more minutes. Is that it?
Yeah, we're good.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Parsa wanted to see the tachometer and he said thanks.
Cool, you're welcome. Yeah, we're coming up to a pretty big bump up here, but even this whole section of road is kind of it's a good suspension test. And what the Accord does really well is generally pleasant driving dynamics, and it's not stuff that shows up on paper. These are things like the differences in shock tuning, double wishbone suspension. I'm pretty sure it's a double wishbone, might be a multi-link, but the way that they kind of build the suspension and have the throttle tuning, everything comes together for a pleasant experience. So none of those things show up on paper. Yes, it's got less horsepower than the Sonata N-Line and the Camry. Yes, it might be more expensive than some of those, but it's the intangibles that make it just a decently pleasant car to live with.
The Pittsburgh Man wants to see how good it is at off-roading.
If we get $20 donation, we'll take it through the 2-track section.
Wow, really?
Yeah, total. $20 total.
Pay up, guys.
I just want to comment on the ride. I think for the back seat, at least, that it's probably the best I've ever felt that bump.
Fair enough.
Okay.
As in, like, I didn't get jolted, it didn't hurt or anything. What car were we in where it was awful?
The Tesla.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the Tesla.
I'll be curious, Nathan, for you to try the Tesla. I feel like the suspension has broken itself in a little bit, and the shocks are working a little better in the warmer temps and stuff. So, be curious to see if you think any differently. I will say one thing that's nice: 32-ounce water bottle fits right there. Get around this roundabout before this truck goes through.
Full throttle. Nice.
Yeah.
It's not as loud as the Elantra, which is nice.
Yeah.
That thing is so loud.
I do think this pipes in some sound, especially in sport mode. So let's we'll do a little like 50 to 60 pull in eco mode first. Just listen. So it was eco, and then we'll do the same thing in sport and see if it's louder. Yeah,
only slightly
it's
though.
subtle, but there's a little bit of a fake vacuum sound.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't like that sound at all, but it's not as loud.
It does not hold gears.
Okay.
It just shifted itself.
I can really feel where the balance is shifting from the front to the back. I can feel like the front end turn in, and then the back end start to slide around.
Is that a student driver bumper sticker on that? Because that would be funny for them to see. It's just
this is how you're supposed to drive.
Alright, so we've got vehicle stability assist off now. Steering is a good weight. The steering wheel itself feels nice. Look at this old wagon.
Ooh.
An old license plate even that they don't.
Jeez.
Just, oh, nice signal, buddy. Just a nice little U-turn.
Just everybody's just being so crazy at this. Wow.
Yeah, the Accord Sport 2 liter is very good at doing its tires, as we will demonstrate.
Huh.
That was actually fairly mild. Probably heated up pretty well. But yeah, it's quick. It doesn't pin you to the back of your seat like an electric vehicle or something, but it goes. See if we come around this corner. It's so windy. Get in the right gear, it should squealing pretty hard. And it's an open diff, so it's just. Huh. The traction control's still kicking in. I'll try coming to a stop. Maybe that'll fully defeat.
It squealed a lot when we went around that first turn.
Right.
Ugh.
Let's go. That's on. Huh, maybe you can't fully defeat. I feel like you used to be able to, but I could be mistaken.
Now what is it you're trying to do?
Defeat the stability control.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Mohammed says Hondas were quite unreliable back in the day. Is it still the same feeling about them?
I'd like to know who thought Hondas were pretty unreliable. I mean, what are we talking, like the 60s? 70s? Nathan, did you ever know of a time when Hondas were considered unreliable?
I've always thought Hondas were very, very, very reliable.
Yeah, no, I would gladly take an Accord well over 100,000 miles. 200,000 miles.
200,000. There it is. Ooh, you smell it too.
That's good fun.
Eric says, I love the powertrain in this car. I would sure want the 2.0 T 10-speed over the 1.5T and the CVT.
Well, this is the surprising thing though. If I were buying an Accord, I would actually get the 1.5 liter. I think that's one of the best CVTs I've ever driven. And you get better fuel economy. It still makes a pretty good amount of power for the vehicle. And realistically, this is the first time I've driven this Accord like this at all. Because when you're just daily driving, there's no reason to drive like that. You're just gonna wear out your tires. It's fun for like 10 minutes. I'd rather just have the 1.5 liter. What about you, Nathan? I haven't driven that one, but
I think based on your reasoning, and I do like smaller fuel efficient engines, it's not like this is a 3-liter V6 turbo that can really justify getting the extra performance. So yeah, I think I'd have to go with the 1.5 as well.
Right. Yeah, when I first drove the 1.5 liter, I was expecting like, oh great, it's a CVT, it's just a small engine, it's not gonna be very good. But no, it was actually quite good. So yeah, you really can't go wrong with it. The main Accord I wouldn't recommend is the hybrid. Unless you did a lot of city driving, there's not really any reason to get the hybrid. It's just heavier, it doesn't ride as well, doesn't drive as well, and you don't get that much better fuel economy on the highway than just getting the 1.5 liter.
Cool.
Fiesta ST.
Abraham Roy says, even it being a 4-cylinder, does it sound like one?
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah. Very balanced chassis though. If you had some summer tires on this thing, you could really have a lot of fun around some corners. Woo. And I'm obviously kind of squealing the tires a little bit more for effect. They wouldn't squeal that bad if
if you were driving normally.
well, and if I were trying to just take that corner like elegantly.
Yeah. Ooh, Parsa says hold the traction control button. Were you holding it to try to turn it off?
Yeah, I held it for 10 seconds.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Huh.
So traction control's off, but the stability control's still on.
Okay.
So, yep.
Got it. All right. And Moran is asking if it has a hard or soft limiter in park.
Yeah, we forgot to do that for him in the last car, so let's do it right now. Find a good place to pull off and rev it up.
The Thepittsburgh Man is laughing at the difference from this live drive to last week's Durango live drive.
Yeah, it is a little different. We had no problem filling an hour of stuff with the Durango.
Right, yeah.
You can't tell I'm a little disappointed. In the live drive for the Accord last week there was a Durango Hellcat.
Yep. Yeah, that one was fun. Fortunately, this Friday will be a Ram Rebel TRX.
That will be fun.
That will be fun.
It'll 75-25 split, even it out.
Yes, exactly.
Fun wise.
As long as this motorcycle, all right. All right, we're in park. Oh, that sounds kind of neat. So it's a soft limiter at about 4,900. Is it the same in neutral? Yep.
Yep. Smells neat too.
I think that's just from around here.
This area is just a little stanky.
Yep. Where Honda is lacking is the technology department. This infotainment works okay, but the sound system's garbage. And the active lane keeping is really not been advanced at all in the last 4 or 5 years. Whereas you get in that Hyundai Elantra that costs $10,000 less, and it would drive you around corners. You wouldn't even have to have your hands on the wheel. This Accord will just ping pong you back and forth around the lane, as we'll see here in a minute. But what Hondas and Toyotas do, they're a little bit behind the curve in terms of innovation and being leaders in the wow factor. But they do provide a satisfaction in reliability, solid, just knowing that the vehicle, it's like I said earlier, the intangible parts, the things that don't show up on paper. That's why people will pay much more for a Toyota Tacoma, or that's why people will hold on to Honda Accords for 15 years or buy them 15 years old with no reservations. There's a subtlety. So it's not having the newest features, it's just knowing that your car is built solid and gonna perform well.
Nathan, do you want to hold the camera for this? He's gonna
Sure.
try to go ridiculously fast.
I'm not gonna be able to, I'm sandwiched in between Chevy sedans.
Oh.
Should have just let that guy go.
Right. Bronco.
Oh yeah, full-size Bronco.
Oh wow.
That Bronco looks really cool.
Yeah, it does.
It's not too good from back here because the lighting difference.
Oh.
You can't see the outside from back there.
Yeah, the harsh sun is tough for filming. Alright, so we're going to set the cruise control at 70 miles per hour and then turn on the active steering, active lane keeping assist. Come up here to where we get lane lines. And I'm going to release the wheel now. Oh, that is a broken down HHR. And there the car goes. So that's what happens if you try to take your hands off the wheel in the Accord. Whereas the Sonata would have just boop, brought us right around.
Huh.
Yep. But other than that, it's very quiet. We got 35 miles per gallon on our highway fuel economy test today. It's pretty darn good. Same as the Sonata N-Line. I would say this car is not as fun as the Sonata N-Line, but it does feel like a more premium product. So, depends on which way you want to go. Any good comments?
NC Styles is high.
Oh, hey, NC Styles. Alright, who wants to drive next?
Nathan, you want to drive next?
Sure.
Okay.
Doesn't look like there's any driver seat memory. That's a little disappointing. Although you might be able to save seat settings to the key, but we only have one key, so.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Huh. asking for if there is going to be a sound test for the Accord.
Well, we already shot a sound test on the 10-speaker system in the Accord Hybrid, and it's the same that would be in this one, so if you want to see it, it's already live on the channel.
What is going on with this truck?
It is doing truck things.
It doesn't even, it looks like it's supposed to be a 2-person cab truck thing, and then it doesn't.
I think it like moves things around at slow speeds, like semi-truck trailers.
And Christopher B says, I am not looking forward or for the sound test on this car.
Yeah, it's awful. It's horrid. I mean, in the Accord it's okay, but the fact that the competitors can do so much better, it's pretty embarrassing.
So who would have a better sound system?
Anyone. This is the worst in the class.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Pick one. Even the Bose and the Nissan Altima is better.
Okay. There you go, Parsa.
Yep. Yep. And it's just embarrassing because Honda's a great brand, and then they just can't make good sound systems.
Parsa says it's an 8-speaker, so that's why he was curious.
It is? You sure it's not a 10? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Why would this one be any different than the... Maybe they do put a different one in the Sport than they do the Touring. If that's the case, then I'll have to do a quick sound test in the morning. I thought they were the same. Maybe they're different. They sound similar, they're both not good.
Parsa says it's literally worse than the Touring, which was terrible, as you mentioned.
Okay, well, in that case, I guess I should review it. So yeah, I guess we will. All right, let's do another walk around, and then we'll get Nathan in the seat.
I want to look at the taillights and see if they look like staplers. Yeah.
Okay. I do appreciate Honda's shifter. They don't screw around with putting a big chonker shifter in it or anything. It's just nice little push buttons, and once you get used to them, they work super easy.
Nathan would like that.
It's nice outside. So if you didn't see,
They do look like staplers.
if you didn't see the color at the beginning, this space gray looking nice on the Accord. It's almost blue in this bright sunlight, but when it's cloudy, it looks very much gray.
Yeah.
Nice black accents.
I
Yeah. Check out the staple taillights.
Yeah.
No. I'm okay with staplers. This, you want front seat or back seat?
I want back seat.
Okay. Usually we do a little bit more walking around, but we've got like a 25-mile-per-hour wind today, especially probably more here, so we'll
I actually didn't
keep it inside.
The wind shut the door for me.
Got wind and jets taking off, all sorts of goodies. Yeah, surprising that in the Sport model you're not even getting power adjust for the passenger. So like I said, you're not getting as many bells and whistles with the Accord.
The wheel does not telescope either.
Yeah, it does. You just gotta yank on it, and it doesn't go very far.
Oh, what the?
It's like the smallest bit of telescoping I've
Well, it's
seen.
like here, like there. Yeah.
It's like 3 inches. Huh.
The Pittsburgh Man says they do, I'm telling you. About
The staplers, yeah. The staple lights.
Yeah. Mike 1 says Touring gets 2 more speakers.
Okay.
Christopher B says I think it is the one less tweeter or so.
Oh, okay. Maybe
And
rear
a
tweeters
sub.
are possible? Yeah, okay.
And a sub.
Yeah, because I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, sub in the back. Okay, maybe there's 2 deck lid speakers that this one doesn't have, or the Touring does, I mean.
And the Pittsburgh Man says it's very windy.
Yeah, it definitely is. Sorry about that, guys.
Right off the bat, it's very easy to drive.
Mm-hmm.
I love car driving.
Comfy back there?
I like it.
You got room for days.
I do.
You know what's good is if you wanted to put a rear-facing car seat back there, there's plenty of room for
That
that.
would be really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it would be a good little family sedan.
Yeah. I don't think the 10 speed's really necessary. Once you get above about 5th gear, you don't notice that you're shifting more, which is kind of a good thing, but also it's just like, is it really helping that much? I don't know. The fact that Mazda can still get away with a 6-speed, I think speeds are kind of unnecessary. Nathan, wasn't it you in a review once that said like anything over 8 gears you don't like?
Yep.
Why is that?
Because it's just like, it gets so unnecessary at that point. Just like,
Yeah.
The reason why my Taurus SHO stock is faster than a Ford Fusion Sport stock, even though on paper the Fusion Sport should be faster, is because the Fusion Sport, to get to 60, it's three shifts.
Wow.
The Taurus, it's 2, and by the time you get second gear, you're at 60.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for practical driving, as long as the car's torquey enough, less gears is better.
Charlie, what would you recommend over this?
In this class?
Yes.
I'd recommend the Sonata if you care more about styling and features. I mean, you get a better sound system. You get, I think you can get cooled seats in the Sonata. I'm fairly certain.
You get better cruise control.
Yeah, you get the active lane keeping assist. You get cool ambient lighting.
Ambient lighting even, really?
Yeah, wow. Like all colors of the rainbow, ambient lighting. You get the stupid sounds of nature thing. So the Sonata's got a lot more going for it from a technology standpoint.
And it's roughly the same price.
Yeah. So if I had to buy one today, it'd be tough for me to decide if it'd be an Accord. I mean, I'd try to find a manual Accord, but considering I couldn't buy one new, it'd be tough between a Sonata Limited or an Accord Tour.
The newest you'd get would be 2020. That's what they said in the comments.
Okay.
Yep.
Nathan, does this car feel like a Miata after coming out of your boat of a Taurus?
Yes. It feels very refreshing to have something that... And don't get me wrong, the Taurus handles fine. It manages its weight very well, but to have something light and nimble.
Yeah, this week you've driven a Taurus, SHO, and a Toyota Tundra, so this probably feels like an Ariel Atom.
Yes.
Woo!
Should I turn up here?
Yeah, turn at the light.
Hi.
Hey.
You know, it's so easy to drive, yet it's kind of encouraging.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like, hey, come on, push me. Jeep, go.
I wish the paddle shifters were a little bit more responsive. They're not the fastest shifters in the world. The headrests are squishy.
Yeah. It's actually got a lot of power.
Right?
It's faster than I was expecting. But
you still gotta rev it up.
You really gotta... Like, I'm just comparing turbos at this point, but the Taurus, like, you can be about here, nail it, and it takes off. This, like... It's really gotta fight for its power.
Yep. Honda engines, you always have to rev them out.
So it's like old man sporty for a man that never owned a sports car. Is that what you can say?
A little bit, yeah. Mm-hmm. All the switch gear and everything you touch and turn feels so quality.
Yeah.
Let's listen to the sound of these clicks.
Ooh, sorry, Aaron, look at this. Oh, it's not an SHO. Never mind. There is an SHO back there.
Hear how quality that sounds and how crisp?
Nothing feels like it's gonna fall off.
Oh. Yeah. Every button press. Listen to the heated seat buttons. Yeah. Feels good.
Really nice buttons.
You know, I appreciate a good button.
What is happening to that Crown Vic? Look at its muffler. It's dragging. Wait, is it? Oh no, it's just cut off.
Ah, great.
That's gonna be loud.
It's actually a Grand Marquis.
So Crown Victoria with a different badge.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's slightly nicer. Ooh, check out that CLS.
Oh wow.
Nice.
I've always wanted one of those, in case you're wondering.
Yeah, me too. We've got a German license plate on the front too, and it says move over.
Oh my gosh. That is really good.
Yep.
It was so balanced all the way through. I could feel like when I got out, like the more power I gave it, the front end kind of lifted off and it pushed out a little bit more. But if I wanted to bring it back and I just let off the throttle a little bit, it'd pull itself back and it's perfect.
Yep.
All right, so.
Yeah, I've heard, and I don't know if this is true, but I've heard that they've always used the BMW 3 Series as a benchmark for the Accord in terms of chassis.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Muhammad says, I saw Topher's review on the manual turbo just a year ago and it looked really peppy. But in the automatic, it doesn't look like that kind of fast to me.
Yeah, the Accord manual is definitely better for feeling fast and strong. You can definitely keep it in power better.
Right.
Yep.
Mike 1 says, IDKY people continue to bash Kia and Hyundai because of their past. I'm pretty sure every manufacturer has had some problems in the past.
Yeah, everyone except Lexus, which is just because they're Toyotas. Or are you testing the rudimentary lane keeping system? It's enough that you can drive and kind of like eat or mess with the radio or something and have a little bit of assistance.
It's not.
But it's not like the, no, it's not like a take your hands off the wheel sort of system. Yeah. Just fine. It's just, I'm just pointing out that competitors offer that.
I'd like to see how much it would help with your driving when you're commuting in really tough traffic. Like, would it be able to slow down for you?
It does have adaptive cruise control, but it's not going to be the type where you'd want it on in traffic. That'd just be annoying. It's not going to accelerate fast enough or anything. Yeah. No, it's an older system, but at least, you know, when Honda does come out with something, it's going to be pretty decent for the time. It's going to be done well, even if it's a little older.
Mike says if I was going to buy this, I would spring for the touring trim and get everything.
I agree too. I don't see the point in getting a sport trim. It's kind of fun, but I mean, if you want a sporty, like, sedan type thing, get a Stinger, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
The Stinger is one of my all-time favorite cars.
Right.
That's perfect because the Thepittsburgh Man said, coincidentally, the Stinger has an 8-speed. That's why he loves them so much, he being Nathan.
Yeah. Yeah, Nathan, we asked Thepittsburgh Man about car stuff earlier, a few weeks ago. He has a G35X right now in Infiniti.
Oh.
And his next car is going to be a Stinger.
Nice.
It was two cars he was between, a Stinger and something else.
I don't remember.
Yeah, he might remind us, but...
I remember the people and what they say, but as soon as they start naming car things,
yeah,
which is half of the conversation, I don't remember.
Do a little 0 to 60.
Off?
No, left side hold.
0 to 60.
There you go.
All right, let's see if I can manage it. Wait, should I give it a little brake torque?
Yeah, give it a little brake torque.
It takes so long for its power to build up.
Yeah.
It really
It's
does.
a little disappointing.
Yeah, it just kind of, the power is there, but it's enough, but it's not thrilling.
Should I pull in here?
Yeah, we can put Alyssa behind the wheel.
Yeah.
What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, he's buying a Stinger, and it's either gonna be, what I think he said, gray or white. I think I told him to get gray. And then Maran Samandi has a GLS 63 that's tuned with over 900 wheel horsepower.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, that is crazy. Holy
910. Yeah, 910 wheel horsepower out of a GLS 63. He said he raced a Trackhawk when it was stock and still beat it. Yeah.
I remembered that.
Yeah. And he's also got a Shelby GT350.
Martha said his dad had an 07 RX 350 with 70k miles on it, and it was having issues. So he's like, maybe that was just our luck, whatever.
Yeah, that's, I feel like that's pretty weird for that to happen. That's uncommon. I mean, it's not like Lexuses are immune from issues, but in general, with proper maintenance, you're gonna have far fewer expensive, like, just random nickel and dime things.
I think driving style has a lot to do with that. If you're really tough on your cars,
That's true.
hard throttle, hard braking, a lot of the times your car's gonna give you some problems.
That's true. Well, and also, you're just, with a Lexus, you're not gonna have things like the rear view mirror coming off.
Or the bumper. Well, no, never. See, that's the thing. Like, that's...
I bet you that bumper's been off. Yeah. One thing we did point out with the Accord, it's kind of strange that maybe, I guess in the touring you probably get it, but in the sport, it's just a standard flippy mirror. It's not automatic or anything. Kind of strange.
I like the backup camera.
Backup camera's good. It's not 360, but it looks okay. And you can change if you want a little wider angle or straight on, up and down.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
before we get out, Thepittsburgh Man says it's just the Stinger. I've got a G35 for summer and the Hyundai Tucson for winter, and he says he thinks he might be right about the gray.
Yeah.
Versus the white.
Yeah. What do you think, white Stinger or gray Stinger? You've seen the gray in person, right?
The gray Stinger.
Yeah.
Here, why don't you get out and I'll do a little exhaust clip.
Okay. Oh, my door almost got ripped off. Not gonna be able to hear the exhaust. That actually sounds kind of cool with the little... Here, hop out real quick. It actually sounds kind of cool when you hit the Rebel.
Just air.
Hear that little pump?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your hair looks so funny. It looks like you have a mohawk.
Huh. All right, Liz, you're up.
Ready?
You want to be in the front? Sure.
Comment.
Okay, I'll do comments. You typically do double duty, so. Oh wow, the camera quality looks good.
I gotta fix this so much.
You know, I thought that too. You can't really fix it that much.
This is as high as I can go, which I think is still.
Being in Accord and trying to like get to everyone, you feel like there'd be a lot of adjustability in the driver's seat.
Right, maybe the Touring has more. Parsa said that's true. The mirror is going to stay on. Yeah, Parsa, we've got a family member with a BMW X1, and recently the mirror just came off, just unstuck
Randomly.
itself.
Yep.
Yep.
From like the stock, or
From
like
right here where it
From the
sticks to
windshield.
glass.
Really? That's so stupid.
Muhammad, this one's about 36,000 or so.
I want this turned off. Fan.
Middle. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Whatever, that works. I want to get up. I want my seat to be higher up.
I'll let you do a little camera work on her and show everyone how she's kind of settled in there. Yeah, she's in eco mode.
Put your seat
It's always funny when I sit in the back with Alyssa driving because I can see so many components of the rear seat. Let me see, like underneath.
Because my seat is so far up forward.
Yeah.
The seat test, we should call it.
Parsa said in regard to that X1 mirror, he goes, "No way, yikes."
There's sheriff.
Oh boy, Officer Booty Ram. Friendly.
I liked your term your last week, fluster cluck.
Oh, Fluster Club?
That was really good.
Yeah.
Good eye though, Nathan.
We used to tell teachers that if something was messed up, we said, "This is a real Fluster Cluck."
Charlie, dip your head down a little bit.
Oh, you can't see?
I can't. That sucks
it's okay,
because
he's kinda around.
his head is in the middle of my rear view mirror.
No, that's kind of just sedan life. Abraham Roy says, "Y'all, we need Alyssa to do an acceleration test."
Once we get away from the sheriff.
Yeah,
It's not
I
a
don't.
sheriff, it's just a metro airport
No,
police.
it was a sheriff.
It probably was.
It's a sheriff on the side.
If anyone would be really good in this car at scouting out cops, it's that guy. Nathan.
Even though I blew by a cop today doing 85 and totally didn't see it.
Okay, well, maybe I take that back.
Mike 1 says, sorry Mike, I have a 2021 Nissan Altima Platinum all-wheel drive, and I'm thinking about buying the 2022 Elantra N whenever it releases, or a used Accord Touring 2.0T. Mike, if your life can accommodate an Elantra, 100% get the Elantra N. I've driven the prototype, and it's awesome. It's like a Veloster N that's even more planted. And less cheap feeling.
Nathan, put the camera on me.
It is on you.
I'm not looking at you. Do you guys think I look short in this? I feel really tiny sitting right here. Like the top of the wheel is like at my nose, and I want to be higher up. I'm used to sitting like with the top of the wheel being at my chin. I just feel so tiny, and I don't like it.
You look a little small.
You look small in the sense that you're really close to the steering wheel.
Well, that's what happened because my feet are like
Well,
Yeah.
that's also because the steering wheel doesn't telescope out hardly at all, so you have to get super close to it. Super close to the dash and everything, I mean.
The wheel can go down more, but...
It can't go down anymore for me because
Really?
I cut off the gauge.
And it'd probably hit your lap, too.
And that too. More so that, actually.
Yeah, I don't think it fits. I don't think you fit as well in this car as you have in other cars.
Yeah.
What was that?
I'm sliding around because I'm in the middle seat. Thepittsburgh Man says Alyssa didn't launch the Durango so she can launch the Honda today.
I sort of launched it. I did a brake.
Yeah, to be fair, you did a lot faster in the Durango than you're going to do in this, even brake torquing it.
Yeah,
So.
When I tried to brake torque it, it hardly made a difference because the engine couldn't build up enough power in the brakes to actually spin the wheels or anything, so it was pointless.
Mitchell, she's got the seat cushion raised all the way, as high as it'll go.
It's as high as it'll go.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it did not go that high. It was not that much
Right.
to go to begin with. I'm gonna do a brake. What is it? Brake
Brake torque.
torque. I want to say torque.
Brake torque.
Brake torque.
Alyssa's going to torque.
On this.
NC Styles. Tune in.
Yes, right here.
On this road, and I want you guys to make sure that cop isn't around here.
Yeah, I'll be
because
on.
he was down there.
I'll be on.
He's probably hearing.
Sheriff Bumram.
He's probably hearing all of the.
All the
Yeah, he's probably
squealing.
like, all right, what's
squealing,
going?
and
He's like, where's the Corvette? And it's just this.
Yeah, it's just this. You guys ready?
Yep.
Hold on, I gotta readjust my foot.
Put her in sport mode.
Okay.
Oh, there we go. Oh my goodness. They actually launched it. That was much better than my launch.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Moran Samani said he ordered the Pilot Sport Cup 2Rs for the GLS. He's going for the 9th gear top speed run right now. When launching the car, it spins the tires all the way to 3rd gear, and all-wheel drive in a GLS 63.
Oh my goodness.
He's gonna go for a top speed run with 910 horsepower. That's why he needed a Cup 2Rs for a GLS.
I hope he's got really good life insurance.
I'm sure he does.
Yeah, because of 900 horsepower in a car that wasn't built for 900 horsepower, trying to do the top speed, it's probably got the limiter taken off, which means
Yes,
there
it
are
does.
parts running at speeds in which they weren't designed to go in the first place.
Yes, he's a little bit of an adrenaline junkie.
Yeah.
So,
He probably knows all this, but he
Yeah.
probably doesn't care.
just so other people know.
Yeah.
Also, Blake634 says, thinking of buying a Mark 7.5 GTI manual or DSG. What do you think? You know, the DSG is really good. I've always said, if you live in the city, get the DSG. If you live not in the city, like suburbs or further out, get the manual. Or if you're going to track the car a lot, get the DSG. And then Mitchell Barrow retracted the message, but he had said that he wouldn't like sitting there either because of the seat that doesn't go very far.
Yeah.
Yes. Is Alyssa gonna whip it?
I'm gonna attempt.
You're gonna
I'm gonna attempt a whip.
Cool whip.
After
Need to go
this.
through all the live drives.
Look
and
at all these cars. It's like a parade.
you keep track
Or a
of.
funeral.
There's the hearse.
Mitchell says, my favorite car was a 1982 Honda Accord 5-speed sedan. That probably would be fun. Probably be very light.
I just
Speaking
feel
of
so
light.
low.
Dark nasty low.
Low, 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 low.
So we're gonna wrap things up here in a few minutes. Let us know if there's anything else you'd like to see or know about the Honda Accord 2-liter Sport. If we get $20 worth of donations, we'll take it off-road. Donate in the Cash App, counts double. Give us $10 in the Cash App, we'll take it off-road. For $30, we'll give it back to the TOPher, horribly dirty. How's that feel, Liz? It's kind of fun.
I'm like scared that it's gonna like fishtail or something. And I know it's not. It's just I'm not very experienced at driving like that.
Did it feel stable though?
She daily drives a Model Y. Nothing feels
Everything's-
stable.
Yeah.
Yeah. Compared to that, the Model Y is like
Yeah.
perfect.
Alyssa just whips around and smokes Porsches.
I did race with a Porsche like a couple weeks ago, and it was awesome.
today, I embarrassed a brand new Audi S3 today.
Oh,
it was bright yellow. It got on the highway, tailgated me, tried to pass me on the right, and I was in a supercharged Toyota Tundra, and I just matted it, and he started to come past me, and then I just
That's awesome.
and I was like, how much did your shoebox cost?
You know what we should do? We should do like a live drive of just driving the. Well, I guess we kind of do that already, but just live driving me driving the Tesla around.
Yeah, probably make a good amount of money. So we got Mitchell says you guys are awesome. Thank you, Mitchell. Appreciate that. And Blake634 asks, what is your dream car for all three of us? And I'm gonna make my guesses. It's been a while since I've talked about this with Nathan, so I could be off now. Alyssa, I'm gonna say a Volkswagen Beetle convertible. Am I close?
Do me last.
Okay. Hey, Mitchell Barrow has a Model 3 now, dual motor, red and black. That's awesome.
For favorite car?
Dream car, favorite car. Now, whenever I'm talking about dream cars, there's always like your realistic dream car and then your unrealistic.
What are you like?
I think I'm gonna do unrealistic would be probably a Lamborghini Murcielago manual. Probably like if they made, I don't know if they made the SV in a manual, but if they did, I'd have that. Close would be a Mercedes. No, I'd say the Lambo. And realistic dream car, I have to think about it a little bit, but probably like the new Model S Plaid Plus that does 0 to 60 in 2 seconds. Probably that. How about you, Nathan?
All right, hang on, but we got two Chargers and one Challenger in front of us.
There they go.
But we don't have the Durango still.
That's probably what the sheriff was out here. Oh, he's waving.
The rumble of scat packs.
Anyway,
Yes.
Which brings me on to my next point. Realistic dream car, Challenger Hellcat.
I can smell them.
That's fair.
And unrealistic dream car, Pagani Huayra.
Ah, I was thinking it might be a McLaren fax machine, but no.
Oh, that too.
He's getting towed!
Yeah, couldn't fix the Jeep. That's Jeep life right there, everyone. You probably can't quite see yet, but
I'll get up close. That's the driver right there.
Womp womp.
But it's clean though.
Yeah, that's the ironic part. Your tuned up Wrangler with light bars and everything is perfectly clean and going on a flatbed.
He's probably mad he's missing our live drive right now.
Maran Samadi said, I did a run to 170. It was very stable, so I have confidence that it's going to do the top speed fairly safely and easily.
Nice.
Maran, what do you think the top speed's going to be now? Do you think it's going to crest 200? Thepittsburgh Man said, realistic C63, unrealistic Ferrari Enzo. Those are both good ones. I do love me a C63. And Parsa said, I guess I wouldn't understand. It's a Jeep thing.
Realistic for me would be that convertible Beetle. And probably, no, it's not this one. Even more, the other one would be a convertible Mustang.
Oh yeah, that GT, you really liked that GT.
I loved it, it's so nice.
Yeah.
That's more on the realistic end though.
It also is, but I don't know much about
Yeah, the funny thing is your unrealistic dream car is less expensive than our the current car that we possess.
Yeah.
The turbo lag makes the gas pedal like an on and off switch in this car. I think I could agree with that a little bit. You do kind of have to like get on it hard and then you feel it and then you lean off. Yeah. Cool. Abraham Royce says realistic RS7, unrealistic Aventador SVJ. Do you guys review older cars too? Sometimes. We plan on doing more this year. We've got a Taurus SHO that we plan on reviewing, doing some work on. You can shut the car off, Liz. We want to do just kind of a few random different cars. We've got my 2006 Chrysler Town & Country, so that's a classic.
Excuse me.
But mostly we do new stuff. New stuff is a little bit more relevant, and easier to get our hands on, ironically enough. Yeah. So we're gonna wrap things up. Let's hop out. Actually, take this. Why do you always put it on your wrist?
Because I don't want to drop it.
Well. cool. The Honda Accord Sport 2.0T. It's a good car. It's probably a car, like Nathan said earlier, we're gonna forget, but
I won't forget this color.
yeah. I'll be like, oh yeah, that's neat. So we might not get to, Moran said, I think it's gonna hit 220. Moran, I want you to tell us next, or on Friday, in our live drive of the TRX, where you plan on doing that. Not specifically, you don't have to tell us like
The street name. Or
right, but just like, are you talking like, do you have a drag strip, you know, highway? Do you not want to disclose? Because I understand that. I've done some very illegal speeds on roads I would not like to disclose. Parcel says, thanks for the live drive, thanks for tuning in. And Blake said, I got a random one. Camry XLE 4-cylinder from like 2015 through 17 that he wants us to review. It'd be boring, but if we can get our hands on one, we'll review it. Maybe Nathan and I would like to do a series at some point in the next year or two where we buy like beater cars and do beatery car type things to them. So that's something that might come up too. So maybe we'll take polls in the future for what people would like to see. Thank you all so much for watching. Thanks Thepittsburgh Man for tuning in. He says thank you. And we'll see you on the next one. We're Charlie, Alyssa, and Nathan from Daily Motor. And as always, drive on.